Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Footprints. This is the podcast here where we talk about the people, moments, and the experiences that shape who we become. And also, it marks a sort of turning point where we hope to leave behind a footprint that really impacts others. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Beverly High School graduating senior Sophia Andino.
Hi, guys.
Did I say that right?
Sophia Andino.
Okay. Sophia has a real passion for baking. Want to talk a little bit about that. But not just baking, but really kind of building something meaningful from that. She's headed to Endicott College, ladies and gentlemen, to study business and management with a focus on hospitality, which is kind of cool. And her goal one day is she wants to own her own bakery. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So in this conversation, we're talking about how, say, passion turns into purpose, which we really love, and what high school has really taught her about discipline and resiliency and things like that, because that's what life's all about, and what it looks like to really chase your own dream and then be creative while you're doing it in that process. So whether you love baking, ladies and gentlemen, or business, which is really kind of cool as well, we're still kind of figuring out what our next steps are in life, and so is Sophia. So this one's for you and anybody who's really kind of thinking about what they're going to do in their life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sophia Andino.
Hi, guys.
To the show. So right off the bat, Sophia, I'm going to ask you a question. Tell us something about yourself that nobody knows. Something kind of could be quirky, could be funny, could be like, oh, I kind of hide this. You know what I mean?
I think something that nobody knows is that as much as I hate reading, I love stories and storytelling. Like, I cannot sit down and read a book, but I can love to listen to stories and tell stories.
Oh, I love that. So listening to stories and just kind of like telling them and you're going to tell us your story today. That's why you're here, which we love, ladies and gentlemen, is a good thing. We love sharing and hopefully maybe inspiring other people as we do that type of thing. So now before we get serious, right? Not that we're going to get serious because this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
What's your go-to thing when you're baking? What's the biggest thing, like your go-to? Like, I'm gonna go bake this right now.
My go-to and something I feel I've perfected is definitely cinnamon rolls, which are very hard because like the yeast process is so hard. You have to be in a certain temperature zone. It has like 3 different times to just rise. Mm-hmm. So I think those are super hard, but it's definitely my favorite to do. And my like go-to, if anybody's like, oh, I want a dessert, oh, okay, I'm going to go make cinnamon rolls.
You just make cinnamon rolls, boom, just like that?
Yeah, it takes a long time, so it's usually something you have to prep like the night before. But I love cinnamon rolls or a good chocolate cake. I'm a chocolate person, so chocolate is my favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you're talking my language. I love chocolate. That's what's up. Now, at what point did someone say to you, maybe you should get serious about doing this thing?
I think it was my dad, honestly. My dad's a chef, so I've always loved being in the kitchen with him. And he was the one who really like showed me this could be an actual like career I can pursue in the future. Wow,
that's pretty cool. So now let's talk a little bit about your family. What does your dad do for a living?
So he works at a school in the culinary department, but they do more than just like the school lunches. They do like outside events that the school does as well.
Okay.
And then my
So there's the footprints, ladies and gentlemen, right there. There it is, right? We see it already. What does your mom do?
My mom's paralegal. She helps sell people houses.
Oh, we love that. Okay, all right. And so let's not get into any trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Your mom's a paralegal. Pets, do you have any pets?
I have 3 pets. I have a dog named Pac-Man, a cat named Wolverine, and a crested gecko named Remy.
Wow. That's a gambit of pets. How about that? Now, how did you get the gecko? How?
So my stepdad and I were going to go just look at the geckos because he was really into them. And then my mom decided to come because she's like, you guys are just going to buy one if you end up going. And then she came with us, held the gecko, and now we have a gecko.
There it is. I love that. I'm a pet guy myself. I have 3 puppies. Oh. So they're Shih Tzu puppies, but they're not really puppies now because they're dogs. We've had them for over a year. But my daughter, she had purebred Shih Tzu puppies, and my wife was not really into dogs at all. She was a cat person. So I changed my wife over from a cat person to a dog person. I did it subtly. I said, honey, let's go look at the puppies. So we went over and looked at the puppies, and one of them actually gravitated to her, and we ended up taking that one. So he had like no tail, and he waddled like a bear, so we just named him Bear, which is pretty cool. What's the first thing you baked that made you think, I'm actually good at this? The cinnamon rolls?
Cinnamon rolls, yes, but definitely I don't personally like sugar cookies. I think they're too dry, but I like to bake, and when I bake, I bring things into school, and my friends love my sugar cookies.
Okay, all right.
That's like the one thing they're like, is it sugar cookies? Then I'll definitely take one.
I love it. I'm big on sugar cookies, but my favorite is oatmeal raisin. Love those.
I'm an oatmeal chocolate chip kind of girl.
You a chocolate chip girl?
I can't get behind the raisins in the desserts. I can eat raisins, just can't get it into my dessert.
Well, no doubt, no doubt. So baking requires a lot of patience, right?
Yes.
Kind of like, bro, I got to really do this. I got to make sure I have the right measurements. What has it taught you really about yourself as you're going through that process?
It's definitely taught me to slow down a lot, because I like to get things done and get them done fast, because there's so many things on my mental to-do list. Mm-hmm. And so baking is so precise that if you're even a gram off in flour or sugar, the whole recipe's messed up. So I think it's really taught me to slow down.
Okay. So do you have any like famous bakers or people who are in the culinary industry that you kind of like and follow?
I think definitely just the Great British Baking Show is probably my favorite show ever. All right. So the things they make and the people who go on that show, I think are definitely people I look up to a lot, because they can on the spot think of something creative to make with a flavor combination and still make it look good. Okay,
I love it. Now, if someone walked into your future bakery that you own, what is it that you would just recommend to them? What would be a specialty or a delicacy that you would say, hey, this is what you should try in my bakery?
So my favorite combination is definitely like a chocolate and raspberry. So I would do like a chocolate cupcake with like a raspberry filling, and then like probably a chocolate mousse with a raspberry drizzle on it.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. That's a good thing. I'll tell you something. I wish you much success in that. I know you're gonna kill it. Just by the what you're telling me, because you got such a passion for it. And when you have a passion for anything, ladies and gentlemen, it's really just comes out naturally, right? We love that. Let's talk a little bit about your high school growth, because I remember when you were a freshman, and now you're a senior. So here we are. So how has Beverly High School kind of shaped who you are today?
It's definitely shaped me in more ways than I thought was ever possible. I think it helped me come out of my shell a lot, because I remember freshman year I was like scared to express myself through what I'd wear or express myself in anything. And I feel like even because I do theater at the school, it's helped me express like way more than I ever could have imagined. And now I'm like more out front. I'm like, oh, I can dress the way that I like, and I can also hang out with people I like. I don't have to go with the people I was with in middle school.
How about that? So, I mean, that's a self-reflection thing right there, which we love, right? So now, what class or teacher really kind of gave you a little bit of experience and helped you sort of like grow the most?
I think, there's been so many good ones.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think the two that were the most influential were definitely Mr. Stanchel, history Mr. Stanchel.
Love Mr. Stanchel.
I took that class with my best friend, and like that class was a very interesting class, very interesting personalities.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Mr. Stanchel, ladies and gentlemen.
And so I was actually talking to him today about going on this, but he's definitely been like, Sophia, do whatever you want to do. Like, do it, Sophia. And then definitely Mr. Pittman as well has been like somebody, because he's such a big character as himself. So he like makes you want to put yourself out there more. Shout
out to Mr. Pittman as well, our business finance teacher at BHS. Really good dude. So let's think about this for a second. You laid the footprints down of being a baker, like something you really want to do, right? And your dad, you said, was working in the culinary department, so you're following the breadcrumbs, so to speak, right? Yeah. Of getting to that. What skill do you think high school gives you that you actually use in real life?
I think definitely communication skills is probably the one that like helps me in real life, because I think freshman year I went into the school being shy to talk to people, but now I can talk in front of people and do monologues on a show, and it's nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I enjoy seeing your smiling face, obviously, during the halls, walking the halls of BHS, because we have such a good time, and our exchanges have been so great. And I've seen you grow from being a shy freshman to you're now a senior. And so what advice would you give a younger BHS student who has a passion but isn't really sure or not sure about what they want to do yet?
I would say definitely, I know my school is very good at, they have a diverse amount of classes. If you have an interest or a passion in something, I would say take the classes in that. And then if that's something you really want to pursue, just go further and further in that, because the teachers of those classes obviously know more than just their teaching in the class, so they can obviously help you. And they'll help you figure out what's the best path in your life to pursue that passion more.
Yeah, for sure. So like reflection and relatability is a big thing, especially when it comes to picking something that you really love. And that's the beauty of Footprints, ladies and gentlemen. We love that. If you love our content, please subscribe to BevCam. Don't forget, we're also on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Yeah, indeed. And also, if you want to be a guest on Footprints, ladies and gentlemen, please go to www.footprintsimpact.com, fill out the guest form, and then come here and sit here and tell us your story. We'd love to have you on. Why Endicott College? Let's get back to that. Why that school?
So that was one of the schools that I really loved because it's a beautiful, beautiful campus, but it's also close to home. I didn't really want to go far. I have very young siblings, and I don't want to miss important milestones in their life. And then also, I just
Excuse me. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen.
I just also love their business program. It's really, really good. It's decently well business program, and I like that they had the focus in hospitality, not just business.
Okay. Excuse me again. I'm sorry. So again, love that they go into Endicott. So, but why business management and a focus on hospitality? Why did that hospitality? Why did that kind of really be something that you gravitated to, that you wanted to do?
So I think since I was 10 years old, I've always wanted to be in like front of people, working with people. I'm not a person who can sit at a desk and do a 9-to-5 job easily. I need to be able to move around, and I think I've always had a love for culinary, and then they kind of fused together in a way, and I was like, all right, so hospitality is something I really want to go into, but I know the culinary end, and I know like certain regulations. I'm ServSafe certified.
Yeah.
So like I know regulations and stuff. I just don't fully know the business end. So I think that was something I really wanted to further my knowledge on.
Okay, that makes sense, because the next question I was going to ask is, a lot of people love baking and a lot of people love business. Why the two fuse together? And you answered that very, very nicely. So I will ask you this: what excites you most about learning the business side of your passion?
I think it's that it's not tying me down to one specific idea of owning my own bakery. It's also helping me with business, depending on things like buying a house in the future or buying any like important purchases or anything in general that needs like some further knowledge, not just like the baseline knowledge.
Right.
So I think that would really help out. And I think the business is just something important to learn, because that's how every business runs.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So now, what do you think the hardest part will be of owning a bakery business?
I think the hardest part would be definitely coming up with those like things that bakeries are known for. Like each bakery has its thing that it's specifically known for. I think that'll be an interesting challenge. And then also, just in general, like starting out a business is obviously very hard. Starting up a business is probably the hardest step, I feel. So like getting that attraction originally is definitely something I want to work on.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. So there are a lot of different things I love about Sophia, and one of them is she's always exploring different things, and she's like that person that like welcomes in everybody. I have a lot of quotes that I love, and one of my favorite quotes is sometimes a man or woman will meet their destiny on the road they took to avoid it. And my dad said that to me when I was 13 years old, and I still remember it. And it's interesting how life unfolds and you follow your passion, you fall into something that you really love to do. And you've been able to do that, which is really cool. Tell us a little bit about theater, because you're involved in the theater here at BHS. So tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved with that.
So I joined freshman year, and I was terrified because I couldn't make it to the actual auditions because I had an appointment. So I just did my own little audition with our director, Miss Biggess. And so I was like, I went to the welcome party. I was like, I know nobody. This is terrifying. And then I feel like our theater department is such a welcoming department to where like everybody like immediately was like, "Oh my God, what's your name? Why do you want to join? Like, this is so exciting. Are you doing cast? Or are you doing crew?" And I was like, I don't know. I think just cast. But so I think it was just so welcoming. And then as I've grown each year, I've grown a little bit more in the department, which I like, where there was like room for me to grow. Freshman year, I just acted in the fall play, didn't do anything more. Sophomore year, I acted in fall play, but I also did costumes. And then junior year, I now run the costumes department, and I did fall play, but also drama fest, which was so fun. And then now senior year, I'm doing it all together, and it feels so like the last base. It feels so like
I know, right? So it's like you feel like, oh no, I'm graduating.
I know.
It's
I'm
like
so sad to leave. I think during fall play, the last show, I was crying for I think maybe 2 hours afterwards. It was I'm not ready to leave them.
No, I know, right? Because you put so much energy and time and passion into it, right?
Yes.
And you've made some friends along the way, right? So now your paths are kind of going in different directions. But remember, those footprints that you actually laid down, you're leaving those for someone coming behind you. And they can see exactly what you've been doing and your passion and all of that, which is really great. And we love the fact that you've been involved in that.
Yeah.
It's been really cool. Let's talk a little bit more about leadership and resiliency in real life. Now, I love the fact that you want to get into business at Endicott College, right? So now, if owning a bakery means you're going to lead, and you're leading people in a different way, what kind of leader do you want to be when you're doing that type of thing?
I definitely want to be a leader that anybody feels with any questions or concerns, they can definitely come to me and we can figure out the best solution. I definitely want to be somebody who listens to their employees and takes their questions, comments, or even ideas into consideration. I don't want to feel like I'm a dictatorship. I want to feel more like I'm in charge, but I'm somebody that we can create a community and grow together.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think if you encompass all your employees and make them feel welcome, right, they're gonna work hard for you. And that's the beautiful thing about Footprints, is helping someone else in their journey along the way. And I'm sure you're gonna be great at that. I can already tell. It's gonna be awesome. Now, how do you handle mistakes, or whether it be in the kitchen or in life? Like, how do you handle those things? Like, how do you overcome those things?
I think I take a few minutes to probably cry, but process in general. And I take a few minutes just to like figure out the situation, and then I'm like, okay, I've calmed down. Let's figure this out now. Like if it's a costuming mistake, I'm like, okay, maybe we buy something instead of trying to make a skirt in 2 days.
Right.
And stuff like that. And I feel like in general in life, if I like make a mistake, if it's a mistake towards somebody, I definitely feel like I feel so bad, so I will apologize profusely. But then I will do everything in my power to make it up to that person.
Of course. Listen, we all make mistakes. It's not that it's going to happen. I always say, because I'm a basketball coach, I always say, hey, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. You have to have a short memory, right? Short-term memory. Just shake it off, right? It's always about the next play or the next thing, right? Or whatever it is you're doing. And you want to be able to have that resiliency, not only with what you're doing, but in your life in general. Because you're going to come up with a lot of obstacles in life. Things are going to happen, and you just have to be able to deal with them, right? Hence my dad saying, sometimes a man or a woman will meet their destiny on the road they took to avoid it, right? So that's a big one. What's something you're still working on as a person, would you say, like yourself in general?
I think definitely speaking up for myself against people of authority around me. I think I definitely have a problem. Like, okay, like if you say so. But then at times I'm like, no, like I genuinely need to do this, or I can't do that. I definitely need to work on. Then I have been working on speaking up to people of authority around me, like parents, my boss, my director, things like that. So,
having said that, I got to ask the next question. All right. What scares you most about the future, and why are you you're still kind of excited about it, which is really cool, right? Really cool. So what scares you most about the future, and why are you kind of excited about the next step?
What scares me most, I feel, is that I think there's no guarantee that there is a future. And so I'm trying my hardest day to day to work towards something. And the fear that could never happen is definitely a big fear in the back of my head. But I genuinely am so excited for my future. I will do everything in my power to make it my future.
Oh, for sure. So I have this saying that I just discovered the other day, which I really love. And it says, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. And I thought, wow. That's pretty profound, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it? Because a lot of times people are afraid to go ahead and do that thing. I don't want to do that. This might happen, right? They build a huge fear up in their mind. But for you, I see that you're going to go full speed ahead into whatever it is you're going to be doing, and that's great. And I wish you so much success. I already know, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be successful at what she's doing. It's going to be awesome. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you like our content, once again, please subscribe to BevCam. Don't forget we're on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts. And if you want to come and sit here and tell us your story, www.footprintsimpact.com. Fill out the guest form and then come here and tell us your story. Let's talk a little bit about your legacy. So what kind of footprint do you want to leave behind?
I definitely think for my future, like children and stuff, I want to leave the footprints of that I was strong and not afraid to speak up for what I believe in. So that I think definitely because I have people in my life who are like that, I definitely think it pushes me more to be like that. I want to leave that you can do anything you physically put your mind to if you have the passion behind it. And you don't necessarily have things like funds or something. You have that passion, you can get farther than with just who you know in a way.
No doubt. So every time I hear someone say that they want to push forward and do their passion, I think of Eminem, Lose Yourself. I always think of that song, right? Because that's one of the biggest things. It's like you only have one shot, right? But honestly, realistically, you have many shots because it doesn't matter if you fail on the first one. You just continue, and once you find your passion, your groove, you're good to go, which I really love. Congratulations to you. I'm really happy for you taking that. When people think of Sophia Andino, like years from now, what do you hope they would say about you?
I hope that they say that I was definitely... I know I'm an interesting personality. I know I can be pushy at times, but definitely somebody who sits down and cares.
Yep.
I think emotion drives a lot of what I do. So I think I want to be someone who's not afraid to show my emotions.
Absolutely.
And when the time needs to like stand up for what I believe in.
Oh, no question. No question. I can tell that you're going to do very well with whatever you once you start to put your mind to it. I can tell baking and business, it's going to be such a fusion. It's going to be great. What are you going to call your bakery, by the way? What's the name?
I've had a few ideas. My boyfriend has a few ideas too.
Okay.
But we'll take those ones into considerations. I've always really liked the name Sweets and Treats as one of them. Or Sophia's Sweets and Treats, something like that.
Okay, all right, I like that. Sophia's Sweets and Treats. I'm there. You got me. I'm sold. All right, so finish this sentence for me. I'm proud of myself because
I've pushed myself to even farther than I could have ever imagined to this day, and I know I'm going to continue pushing myself.
Oh, I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Think of the self-awareness that this young lady has had in the self-discovery since freshman year to now. We love how the fact that she's transformed, you know how you're in that little cocoon and now you're a butterfly, right? You're flying around and you're doing your thing and you're going to have a good time doing it. I want to ask a question about self-awareness because I know you're really big onto that and we've talked a lot about that. Why is it dangerous when people who don't understand like their own strengths? Why do you think that's a dangerous thing if they don't understand it?
I think it's dangerous because you're losing the potential of something that could be crazy big and could get you so far. And maybe just the fear is holding you back or that you don't fully know about it is something holding you back. And I feel like if you can get out of it, you can go super far.
No doubt. Now, what's going to separate Sophia's Treats for another bakery? What is going to be your secret sauce, so to speak?
I almost want to make it feel more cozy. I feel like a lot of bakeries today kind of go off that modern look. I want to make it more cozy where like they'll be like, I want to put like board games or books and stuff in there so that people want to stick around.
Okay. All right. I love that. So now, as you're going through this whole thing, and you're going to have a whole lot of stuff that's happening when you're fusing bakery and business together, What strategies actually work for you when things aren't going well?
I think definitely, as much as I don't love being on it, social media is something that can help. Like it can make or break a business, and I feel like definitely pushing myself on social media could help me a lot if things aren't going the best.
So it's funny you said social media. So, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, I have 7 children. I have to relate this. And my oldest daughter is 40, and my youngest son is going to be 21 this year. In social media, about 20 years ago, when my daughter, Caitlin, was around, wasn't really a big thing happening. But now it's like this huge presence, which is really good, right? So her social media experience is a lot different than my youngest son, Ashton's. Because when Ashton now he's 21, all he's ever known is social media, right? For instance, I'll give you an example. Ashton played high school basketball, and Ashton said, I gotta communicate with one of my teammates, Adam. I said, just call him on the phone. He goes, no, Dad, I'm gonna put it in the group chat. What? And then 30 seconds later, Adam responded out of the group chat. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is what we've come to. This is social media. So I understand the presence of social media and how it really helps. Now, having said that, what type of presence do you think Sophia's Treats will have on social media?
I really want it to be I want to have a daily item for my bakery, so that we post it on probably the story on Instagram and be like, this is our daily item. Come stop by for this. Or just in general, just pictures of different desserts and stuff we do. I would like to make custom orders and stuff as well. So maybe posting about those as well would be helpful.
Oh, no question. No question. Ladies and gentlemen, I think she's going to do just fine. I can already tell she's got the stuff that really is going to make and drive a great business like bakery. One other question. If you had, a chance to have dinner with someone dead or alive, famous or not famous, athlete or non-athlete, famous baker, anybody like that, who would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it would definitely, that's hard.
It is. Now, it could be anybody.
I know.
Anybody at all. Whoever it is you want to have dinner with, sit and talk and chill. And
I think it would have to be my great-grandmother on my dad's side, Mommy.
Okay.
Because she was the one who taught my dad how to do a lot of the cooking when he was a kid, because she's, so my dad's side of the family is Puerto Rican, so she has that kind of flow in the kitchen.
Oh, I love it. I love it already.
I would definitely want to sit down with her, talk to her about her experiences with cooking and just her life story in general.
Oh my gosh. So imagine that. So there's the footprints, ladies and gentlemen. It's come full circle.
Oh, yes.
Right? Think about that. She's into the kitchen, her grandmother's in the kitchen, her dad's in the kitchen, and now, guess what? Sophia's going to be in the kitchen. We love it. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you finding your groove in whatever it is, your passion that you want to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for today. Footprints. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Don't forget, if you want to come tell us your story, please go to www.footprintsimpact.com. Fill out the guest form and come here, sit here, tell us your story. And don't forget, we're on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And please subscribe to BevCam and check us out here as well. And I always leave you with this particular thing. And I'm actually going to leave you with 2 questions. Ladies and gentlemen, who left a footprint on you, and what are you going to do with it? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.